Welcome everyone to the debut episode of FutureSox TV, a weekly multimedia broadcast that will be airing on our website. My name is Daniel Shapiro and I will be your host for this exciting experiment of sorts of ours. Leading off will be a look at a recap from SoxFest attended by our own Brian Billick. FutureSox was able to score an exclusive interview with White Sox GM Rick Hahn, who touched briefly on topics such as the Jeff Samardzija trade, which included Michael Noah.
We wanted to find another piece to make us feel a little bit better about the total return, especially if Jeff does in fact wind up elsewhere. We see, and he spent the last year in A-ball form down in Stockton working out of the pen, and our guys feel that he has a starter's mix in terms of having 4 different pitches, 3 of which are currently plus, but in the bullpen it has sort of shortened his responsibilities and what he's being asked of him. He's really flourished. So we probably see him long-term in the bullpen as they used him and as he had more success. There's a few things mechanically that still need to be ironed out, but you're talking about a young kid with a high-powered arm and a multi-pitch arsenal, so he was a good guy for us to get included. Michael
Noah was once a big-time rated prospect, rated as high as 20th in all of baseball in 2009. The 23-year-old signed for $4.25 million in 2008 at age 16, which is substantially more than I will ever make, but arm injuries and subsequent Tommy John surgery kept him from logging huge innings. In this past year, Noah became a reliever with a starter's arsenal, lowering his trade value, but it ended up generating interest from the White Sox. FutureSox has Noah ranked as the 22nd ranked prospect in the system this year. He'll likely pitch out of the bullpen in AA Birmingham. Hahn also touched on shortstop/utility player Tyler Saladino. Saladino has been up and down in our rankings since 2010, ranking as high as 4th before going unranked. Saladino's 2014 season ended prematurely after he needed to have Tommy John surgery done.
He's coming along well. The timeline at this point is that he should be able to be without restriction in spring training. Now, we're going to still want to take it slow because obviously it was a major surgery and it was just last August that he had it done. But every indication is that he should be able to break with a full season club, whether it's Chicago or Charlotte. You got a kid in him who's got versatility, much like Marcus, who's probably one of the, outside of Rodon and certainly Alexei, probably the best defensive shortstop we have in the organization. But also his ability to play second and third, and as I alluded to, could fit a role in terms of matching up against lefties and playing quality defense at 3 positions.
Hahn also spoke about the international signings and how clubs are beginning to overspend.
We've seen what other clubs have done. They've gotten to the point now where if you do go more than, is it 5% or 15% over? You go enough over to sign a real guy.
Yeah.
Then not only can you only sign guys over under 300,000, but it's now for 2 years as opposed to 1, which is what it was early in the agreement. The place that Marco has gotten us to, Marco Patti internationally, I think we feel strongly enough that each year we're going to get multiple quality talents above the 300,000 mark, that to forfeit 2 years of signings for 1 guy would really require someone special.
Based off of Hahn's comments, don't expect the White Sox to sign Super Cuban prospect Yohan Moncada for a projected $40 million with a subsequent $40 million in fines that go to the MLB. Brian also caught up with the White Sox #1 prospect Carlos Rodon, who discussed his mentality on the mound.
Off the field, I'm a little different, a little calmer, cool, collected guy, just to myself, and then when I step on the mound, it's a little different, you know. Become the bulldog and get after it.
Rodon also spoke about his pitching repertoire, including his infamous devastating slider.
I think I have that in the bag. I feel like I could roll out of bed and probably throw that. But recently I've been really working on the changeup. You know, at the end of last season, I was heavily working on that changeup, just getting a feel for it. And, I was happy with the way I finished up with it, and then hopefully in spring I'll get better with it. It's one of my pitches, hopefully my secondary pitch instead of that slider.
The slider was cited by many outlets as the best pitch in the 2014 MLB draft. Fangraphs has had a number of articles with just video of Rodon's slider, including dropping this compliment. Did as 4th century theologian Saint Athanasius contend in his De Incarnatione, God became man, so that man might become God. It's not for the present author to say. However, Carlos Rodon's slider would be decent evidence on behalf of that argument. Finally, Brian interviewed MLB.com's 2nd-ranked second-base prospect and FutureSox 6th overall White Sox prospect, Micah Johnson. Johnson stole 84 bases in 2013 and looked like he'd be getting a September call-up last year until he was sidelined with a hamstring injury. Johnson told us how he's been recovering and staying in shape this offseason.
Yeah, we kind of worked on a little bit of power tuning this offseason just to be more explosive. but just prevent injury. We still mixing yoga, so then try to prevent those hamstring injuries is important.
For the entirety of the interviews and Brian's takeaway from SoxFest as a whole, go visit FutureSox at chicagonow.com/FutureSox. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for more coverage of the Southsiders farm system. FutureSox TV is filmed at the Reynolds Journalism Institute at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. For FutureSox TV, I'm Daniel Shapiro.